What players do you believe will win People's Fantasy League this year?
My first guy is the GOAT. That's right. Tom Brady. Last year, 2020. Is it crazy to say that that was an adjustment year for Tom Brady? I mean, he won the Super Bowl. So is it really fair to say that it was an adjustment year? But I really feel that it was an adjustment year. This team offensively did not hit its stride until the very end of the year. At the right time, they made the right plays, and it just started to click. AB was back, Godwin was healthy, Evans was healthy, and this team, we saw what an offensive powerhouse this team can be. Going into 2021, a whole nother year, Tom Brady with this coaching staff brought back all the weapons that won the Super Bowl. This team is going to be good. But let's talk about fantasy, okay? Last year, let's talk about the fantasy playoffs. In the fantasy playoffs, if your fantasy playoffs started from week 14 to 17, if that was your playoffs, Tom Brady was a quarterback 4.
Right.
If your playoffs started from week 15, he was the quarterback 2.
Okay.
This is the time of the year where Tom Brady finally, it started to click with all the weapons that he had in this offense. And to me, I feel like it's only going to get better going into his second year with Tampa Bay. Again, this team is going to be really good. This is the best set of offensive weapons that Tom Brady has ever had. Ever. Okay? I don't care. Look at any other year. You can DM me. We can fight. He has never had better offensive weapons than the 2021 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, Gio Bernard, don't sleep on Gio, Scotty Miller, and the rookie Jalen Darden. There is speed all over the field. There are hands all over the field. There is toughness all over the field. There is no weakness in this offense. Put it on the board. Tom Brady will throw 50 touchdowns this year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I am drafting him as my late round quarterback at every chance I can. He's currently my quarterback 6 in redraft leagues. He's being drafted as a quarterback 13 to 15, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
So when I'm looking to target him is anywhere from round 10 onwards. If I can build my team, running backs, wide receivers with those first 9 picks, tight ends, and I can make a strong core, I believe that Tom Brady can be the guy that puts me over the hill, and I don't even have to take him until the 10th round onwards. Tom Brady, 50 touchdowns this year, the best offense he's ever had. This will be one of the best teams. Again, don't be afraid to draft Tom Brady because he will win people fantasy leagues this year.
That's a huge statement, a huge thing that you said there. And, maybe you're waiting for year 2 when we come around and we look at this episode and it's like,
I've thought about this a lot and I feel very confident. And think about it. There are 17 games this year. So 50 touchdowns isn't crazy. He threw 40 last year. Not crazy. Okay. It's not crazy. This team's going to be better, even better than they were last year. Badaki, who is your first player that you think could win people their leagues this year?
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk. And he's the definition of all of our
Ayuk.
Player. Okay.
Should we? I feel like we should drop a Ayuk.
Yeah. Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk. You can do that. You do one of those.
100. It's episode 100. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Look, this is someone that can line up anywhere, honestly, on the field and just be a nightmare for the defense. Okay, year 2 is where I see him flourish and really coming to his zone. And if you really look at it and we look at his quarterback situation, when Jimmy G's on the field, he's not terrible. And with the addition of Trey Lance and his abilities and what we all believe that what he can do. And another thing that I would like to bring up is let's not forget about Deebo Samuel. Okay, he's consistently getting injured.
I was going to ask you, what about Deebo?
Yeah, he's consistently getting injured. As much as I hope Deebo stays healthy, I believe Ayuk will become the Deebo we've never seen. Okay, Brandon Ayuk has all the opportunity to be the number 1 receiver here. He's currently my wide receiver 23, and I believe he can win you your leagues.
I like the take. He's your wide receiver 23. Can you find out where he went in our last mock draft? And I'm going to quickly say one thing about Jimmy G. Jimmy G, what we need to realize, guys, from a fantasy perspective, don't be afraid of Jimmy G. Not the draft Jimmy G, but the weapons around Jimmy G. He's auditioning all year long, however many games he gets to start. Every game, he's auditioning to every other NFL team, saying, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still an elite quarterback. He wants to show people that because he's surely not the quarterback of the future for this team, but every other team is going to be watching every game that he plays. Jimmy G is going to play his best football this year. Where was Ayuk drafted in the latest mock draft we just did?
He went in the fifth round, and he was wide receiver. Out of all the wide receivers went off the board, he was wide receiver 21.
Okay.
So there was a couple key guys that was still on the board, like CeeDee Lamb. I took him right after Brandon Ayuk. Tyler Lockett was still on the board. Kenny G was still on the board, but I'd take Brandon Ayuk over all those guys besides CeeDee Lamb. But, he's making his way to be a wide receiver 1 in the next coming years, hopefully.
And this could be the year. Who knows? My second player that I believe can win people their fantasy leagues this year is Devonta Smith.
Oh, boy.
He is currently the wide receiver 26 in my rankings. He went off the board in our latest mock draft as a wide receiver 32. Here's the deal. I'm targeting Devonta Smith in the 7th round all day. This is a high reward, no risk pick in the 7th round. There's no risk taking Devonta Smith. I promise you. I know he's a rookie, but the amount of targets that Devonta Smith is going to see in his rookie year is enough to say that in the 7th round, this is more than a safe pick. This is a high reward, no risk pick. Let's break this down. The question we've all been asking, can Devonta Smith do it in the NFL?
Right.
The reality is we have seen players like Devonta Smith come in and not succeed. However, they have not been in the NFL in this era. This era of the NFL offense is made for a player like Devonta Smith. Get an athlete in space and let him dominate. I've been saying that all offseason. Don't be worried about drafting Devonta Smith. This defense is not going to be good. So the Eagles are going to have to score a lot of points. Jalen Hurts is going to be running all around trying to get this team some points because the defense isn't going to be doing it for them. And here's how I see it. When I stat out Devonta Smith, I don't see a way that he doesn't get 110 targets this year. Minimum. 110 targets.
That seems about
Tell me
right,
who else in
my
this
opinion.
offense is going to be the wide receiver 1. It's not Jalen Reagor. He's still talented, but he's not the guy. It's not Dallas Goedert. He will be the second wide receiver option. And who else is there? There's no one else to compete with targets. Bad team, needs to score a lot, talented wide receiver. In the modern day NFL, Devonta Smith could finish as a top 15 wide receiver in his first year. It's not crazy, people. It really isn't. Draft Devonta Smith in the 7th round and thank me later when you win your league.
I completely agree. I have him ranked 24 amongst my wide receivers above certain names like DJ Moore, Tyler Lockett, Corliss Sullivan, Tyler Boyd, those guys. So I believe in Devonta Smith coming into this season.
I love it. Who's your last guy?
Man, I'm excited about this one.
Okay.
I'm really excited, okay? And maybe this could be a little home bias, but let me actually break it down, okay? 2019, his rookie year, Danny Dimes.
Oh,
he didn't start. Okay, he didn't start. Why? Because Eli Manning was still on the team. It was his first year on the team, first year with the offensive scheme. He becomes a starter week 3 versus the Bucks. Crazy game. I don't know if you remember that. He won in the last minute. He ran it in himself. I don't know if you remember that, Raymond James. And did you know in his rookie year, Daniel Jones threw 24 touchdowns. He only played 13 games. Okay, because Eli obviously was still on the team, and it was promising rookie year.
Did he start after week 3?
No, yeah, he didn't start week 1, week 2, and then he missed it. And then, towards the end, Eli didn't play. 2020, sophomore year, new head coach, new offensive coordinator, COVID year, Saquon gets hurt, doesn't have an X wide receiver. He struggles with fumbles still. And let me just say, Brett Favre holds the record for the most fumbles in a quarterback. Okay, I'm not comparing him to Brett Favre. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's as good as Brett Favre at all. Just people say that fumbles are a problem. They are a problem. But Brett Favre he is the holder of this record. So that was a big thing. Coming into this season, okay, we signed Kenny G, the biggest wide receiver signing in the offseason. Okay, and did you know Danny Dimes is the best deep ball thrower, or was the best deep ball thrower in 2020?
Is that like a PFF
He was number
stat?
1. Yeah, he passes over 20 plus yards. He was number 1.
Wow. Okay.
His accuracy. Okay.
So signing Kenny G makes a lot of sense then. Okay. Well, I don't hate it so far. Keep going.
He gets Saquon back. Year 2 with Joe Judge. Year 2 with Jason Garrett, the offensive coordinator. And year 3 with some key pieces of this offensive line. Okay? Daniel Jones has everything in front of him to succeed in his year 3. Obviously, everyone's saying this is make or break for DJ. This is his last year. This is where you evaluate him. This is the first time he's going in with some pieces, with some offensive lines, with a head coach, the same offensive scheme. Danny, I don't know if you saw, my guy's ripped too. Okay, he is crazy shredded. But look, there's no, in my opinion, if you're a late round guy, a late round quarterback drafter, there's no risk in taking Danny Dimes, in my personal opinion. In some leagues, he's going undrafted. In some leagues, he can go from as late as, second to last round, depending on how many rounds you have in your league. So if you're a guy that wants to do that, that's amazing. If you're a guy that wants to take him early, if you're in a 2 quarterback league, that could be something special.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. Redraft. Let's talk about redraft leagues. 1 quarterback. Okay. Is this a guy that you're saying, I don't need to draft a quarterback, Danny Dimes will be there late? Or is this a guy you're drafting as a second quarterback because you see upside and trade value?
It's both. So if I'm seeing no quarterbacks and in a redraft situation, and if I'm getting a late round quarterback, Danny Dimes is on the top of that list. If I'm doing a 2 quarterback league, obviously I'll get one of the top tier guys if I can snag him, and then Danny Dimes is my QB2, which I believe is tremendous upside, especially with the signing of Kenny G and all these pieces that they have. Okay. The Giants are going to look mean here, and Danny Dimes could win you leagues. You already know. Let's go. We going to the playoffs.
As a Washington football team fan, I say, wait a second. Got to win the division first.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.